just like Kazmir, he's off to a 2-0 start. He's got a 0.90 ERA. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, and he's got a wipeout slider. But the thing about him, he keeps the ball down. In each of his 3 starts, he's recorded 10 ground ball outs, and he does a good job of keeping the ball down.
All right, so we're looking forward to the Game 1 matchup. Keiko and Kazmir, a couple of the better left-handers in the American League. It's the first place. That's right, first place. Houston Astros in town. We'll have lineups and first pitch. A's Astros, so stick around. Got the ball game coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California.
First base, number 23, Lance Barksdale. At second base, number 81, Quinn Walcott. And at third base, number 56, Eric Cooper.
Defense behind Kazmir tonight. He's going to have Cannon left, Gentry in center, Ross in right. Laurie, Simeon, Sogard, and Butler. Billy Butler gets his first start at first base this year, and Josh Fegley is behind the plate. So there's your defense as Kazmir wrapping up his warm-up tosses. Astros come in with a record of 8-7. The A's are 8-9, and those Houston Astros are currently in first place in the AL West. So, as we said, Billy Butler at first base for the first time this year for the A's. But he's been there before. Played first base 37 times last year with the Royals, but I think he's been looking forward to getting out on the field. DHing's fine, but he wants to play some first base, and he's going to do that tonight. A.J. Hinch taking over as the manager of the Astros. So if you're just joining us, Eric Chavez is going to be in the broadcast booth tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday. So we're looking forward to having Eric. Kazmir's first pitch, and Altuve, who generally does not wait around, fouls it straight back. So a little different view from up here, huh, Eric?
It is pretty high, pretty high.
Yeah. Altuve hitting .297. He's got a homer, 8 RBIs. Your umpires tonight, Gary Cedarstrom calling balls and strikes. Lance Barksdale at first. Quinn Wolcott at second, and Eric Cooper is down at third. So they're dressed up warm as well. 0-2 pitch, fastball away. So Jose Altuve.
Come out swinging tonight.
He always does. He does not mess around.
I think when you're almost batting 500 off a pitcher, I think you're going to be pretty aggressive. And they know Scotty likes to throw strikes too.
See, Kazmir, really fastball changeup guy now. He will throw an occasional slider.
There's that changeup right there. He's got him out in front, leaning.
See the fastball and the cutter, which I guess some people say it's the same pitch generally. You just maybe slide that finger around a little bit.
It's the pitch that's kind of taken over baseball.
Sure is. And foul back. So good battle here to start the ball game between Kazmir and Jose Altuve. Valbueno to follow, and then Springer for the Astros. Astros have won 4 out of 5. So they are playing good baseball and feeling pretty good about themselves.
The offense hasn't even got going yet.
No, it hasn't.
That's the scary thing.
Well, you said it in the pregame show. It's the pitching that's been terrific for the Astros. Gentry on the move. Canna also there. To be Gentry who grabs it. So Altuve hits fly ball to center field. 8-7 record. Best start through 15 games since way back in 2007. This is a team that has lost a lot of games the last 4 or 5 years, but signed some veterans in the offseason, and pretty good team now doing their thing.
It's the one guy who's been hitting the ball out of the ballpark in this lineup.
And Luis Valbuena, who one of those veterans that was acquired. He's got 5 home runs.
Swinging a hot bat right now.
11 hits total. Chops this one. Nice big bounce to Sogard. And that's out number 2. The Astros had an off day yesterday, and they spent it right here in the Bay Area. They were in Seattle before that, and they won 2 out of 3.
Here's the guy they're looking to get going right here.
Yeah, at some point, Springer's got to start doing what he did last year. Lots of talent. 167 is the average. He's got 9 hits and 54 at bats. And of the 54 at bats, 21 strikeouts.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's kind of the scary number right there.
He's got 9 hits total, couple doubles, and that 1 home run. So he's behind in the count, 0-2. George Springer.
Maybe a sophomore jinx, maybe.
Well,
it's early.
When he came up last year, he struck out a lot as well, and then I think slowed down a little bit for him. But when you swing like he swings,
yeah, he's swinging
you're
hard.
going to strike out.
Yes, you can see it. Yeah, that's a big swing. Got to cut it down just a little bit.
Close pitch, 1-2. Casimir trying to have a nice 3-up, 3-down inning.
There's Dave Hudgens, the hitting coach.
Yeah.
One of my old hitting coaches.
And there's that changeup. Springer strikes out, and Casimir has a 3-up, 3-down, top of the first. Simeon's going to lead off for the A's when we return to the bottom of the first. Lineup. Simeon's going to lead off tonight. Marcus Simeon will be followed by Canna, Zobers, Butler, Ross, Laurie, Kegley, Gentry, and Sogard. There's your ace lineup for tonight.
And they'll be facing Dallas Keuchel, a left-handed pitcher, 6'3", 210 pounds. He's 2-0 with a 0.90. This guy gets a lot of ground balls. The A's got to make these guys get the ball up.
Keuchel coming off a very fine 2014 season where 12 games and an ERA under 3. Got to the 200 inning mark. And now Astros may be thinking this could be a cornerstone guy for us as we move forward. 1-1 the count to Simeon.
Simeon's first time in the leadoff spot?
I think it is, yeah. Doing a nice job from the bottom of the order, but there's the numbers for Keuchel, right at 200 innings pitched. And he is a ground ball guy. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So forget the ground ball. Keuchel with a strikeout to start the game. Astros defense has Grossman, Rasmussen, Springer in the outfield, Valbuena, Lowry, Altuve, Carter on the infield, and Hank Conger's behind the plate tonight. Hank Conger, the former Angel, trying to keep his hands warm.
He can catch.
Aren't we all?
He can catch. He can frame.
Here's Cannon. Dallas Keuchel has, as we talk about the fact that he's got the good sinker, he has not a lot of home run this year in 20 innings. He also won a Gold Glove last year. So you think of a guy who's a very much a ground ball pitcher, and he wins a Gold Glove. I mean, he may be getting you he may be getting himself an extra out per game by just being able to field his position.
Definitely a plus if you can fill that position.
Here's the Gold Glove. Glove. First Astros pitcher to ever win a Gold Glove. That sinker right to Lowry. Throws in time. 2 outs. So he is not a hard thrower. But pretty good late sinking movement from Dallas Keuchel. So here's Zobrist. Good to have Zobrist back in the lineup. He's DHing tonight. For his kind of a funky slide into second base in Kansas City and banged up his knee a little bit. So he did pinch hit yesterday, but this was Sunday in Kansas City, and you see the slide and see the knee just jam a little bit. And still not 100%, but he is in the lineup as the designated hitter tonight.
It's a good sign seeing him pinch hit yesterday.
Yep.
Keuchel likes to work fast.
He sure
slow
does.
him down.
Well, stepping out, trying to slow guys down, it's now a little bit different this year if you can't step out of the box. Butler hoping to get a chance to hit. And the 3-0 pitch is low, so Zobrist with the walk.
You're going to see a lot of strikeouts, a lot of ground balls, and you're going to see some walks.
It'd be tough, though, to lay off a guy who's got a good sinker.
Yep.
You generally want to get in there and hit, right?
Especially if he's starting at the right spot, right at the knees, and then dropping down in the zone. He's facing a hot hitter now, though.
Yes, he is. Billy Butler, 369 is the average. He's got 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Butler, 24 hits, 4 doubles.
He's on everything. He's on the heater. He's on off-speed pitches.
He had 7 hits in that series in Los Angeles. I think he'd like to have another crack at that last pitch.
That was a hell of a cut. I never realized what he was such a good hitter.
Well, that's the thing. If you only got to see a guy every day, unless he's just one of those, mega stars. But even if you see a guy, a couple series a year, what if he's scuffling at that time? And you're thinking, man, he didn't look that good.
Right.
But watching Billy Butler the first 17 games of the year, he's got good bat speed. Broken bat there. Lowry has it. Side retired. So 2-out walk, nothing else for the A's. No score after 1 here at the Coliseum.
Wednesday, May 12th, when the A's host the Boston Red Sox. 15,000 fans will walk away with this green and gold fleece blanket that pays homage to Sean Doolittle's signature pose. Get tickets now at athletics.com/tickets.
That's your first promo read, right?
I can read.
I thought it went well.
Mom's proud. That's a good player right here, Lowry.
Yes, he is. 2 good years for the A's. His contract as a free agent to go to the Astros. Pops this one up to right field where Sogard gets back there to make the catch. So Lowry's out, and here's Evan Gattis.
Batting in the 5th position, designated hitter, number 11, Evan Gattis.
Gattis trying to get going.
Yep. A 109 average. It's not what you want to look up at the board and see right now.
No, and when we saw him in Houston early on, he was in the middle of that start where he was 0 for 20 with 12 strikeouts.
And there we go.
Slowly starting to come out of it, and he's a good hitter. So Gattis gets his 7th hit of the season.
Yeah. Little fastball away, just stays on it, pokes it to the right side of the infield, and you know, when you're slumping, that's all you want to do. You want to start with singles and work your way up.
And he's just a big, strong guy. So a 1-out hit. Here's Chris Carter, another Astro hitter who's really struggling. Carter is hitting 122. He's 6 for 49. He's got 1 home run and he's got 22 strikeouts. So he's not rolling yet.
Nope.
His first home run came on Wednesday in Seattle.
It's contagious. Baseball is definitely contagious in both ways.
So you can sort of feel that, you know, when guys around you are struggling and they get hot, maybe you start feeling a little bit better.
There's no doubt. You start feeding off of one each other, and you got one guy giving good at bats, and you just work it, pass it on down the line. But they're pressing a little bit.
The Astros should be thrilled because they are not hitting at all. They're hitting .215 as a team, and they're winning games. But offensively, 3rd fewest runs scored in the American League. See lots of strikeouts. They are stealing some bases. .144 strikeouts now with the one tonight. But nobody's going to be surprised that this group strikes out a lot. It's just the personnel that they have.
They're going to hit some home runs in that ballpark too.
3-1 to Carter. Be careful here. And that one on the inside corner. So now full count.
Looks like he got a favorable pitch right there. That pitch looked off the plate a little bit. Look at the little cutter.
Gattis with a very short lead at first. And Carter hits one high in the air to right. Ross is back. He's got room. And Ross grabs it, gets it back in quickly for the 2nd out.
You know, when you're hitting 122, you don't get the calls.
No. Batting in the 7th position, center fielder, number 48, Colby Rasmus.
So 2 outs. Here's Colby Rasmus. Rasmus getting a start against a left-hander tonight. Had a good series up in Seattle. That could be one of the reasons why. 4 hits and 11 at bats with a home run. Rasmus overall 243 the average. 9 hits and 37 at bats.
There's another guy who strikes out a lot.
Yes,
too.
he does.
But he'll put a charge into one, though, too.
So 1-1. Good pitch there, right around the knees, took a little off.
Can't tell if this little cutter or a little slider. Definitely took something off of it. Yeah, it looks like a little slider. Good pitch. Nothing Rasmus could do with that pitch.
1-2 pitch, fights it off as the fastball came in.
That's why Scotty's so good right there. He throws a slider down and away at the knees, and then he comes back with a straight fastball in off his hands. Such a good, tough pitch. Looks like he's coming back with the slider right here.
He did. I always thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like there was not a lot of left-handers who could throw up and in to a left-handed hitter.
They definitely didn't like to.
They don't like. You're afraid they're going to hit you, right?
Yes, or leave one over the middle of the plate. Down and away is definitely where they want to get you.
Like that, kind of a sweeping breaking ball, but Rasmus lays off, so a full count.
Yeah, that one just a little bit off the plate. He's got to challenge him right here.
And he missed outside. So Rasmus was able to lay off some tough pitches, and he gets the walk. So 2 on 2 out for Hank Conger.
Batting in the 8th position, the catcher.
Conger, a switch hitter.
Hank Conger.
Conger 1 for 9 on the year. That one hit, a home run. Jason Castro is the regular catcher. Good pitch there, right on the outside corner. 92 miles an hour.
Angels really liked this guy when he first came up.
Yeah, #1 draft pick for them. In fact, the guy he was traded for, Tropiano, pitched against the A's yesterday, and he did a good job.
Looked very good.
Right-hander, threw the ball extremely well.
I think that pitch was about a foot outside.
Well, Conger, he's not going to shy away from taking a big rip either.
He doesn't want to give him anything to hit.
No.
Nothing close to the plate.
He got one to hit there. Probably not where Kazmir wanted it.
No, that was a mistake pitch right there. Yeah, what happened to 2-strike approaches?
No, not anymore.
Putting the ball into play. That looked like a 2-0 swing. The art of hitting.
Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Conger lays off that one.
This guy's throwing more sliders tonight than I think I've seen him in the past.
We talked about that before the game, that he's just a guy who doesn't throw a lot of sliders, but you're right. Noticeably more tonight. Misses badly that time. So he's going to step off, regroup just a little bit. 2-2 the count. Gaddis at second, Rasmus at first. Overthrew
that last changeup right there. The 2-2 pitch. He wants to make something happen right here. just not want to go 3-2.
Bobby Grossman is the on-deck hitter. Kazmir trying to end the threat right here.
Changeup.
And then it's hit hard right to Simeon, who flips to second side, retired. So Kazmir works out of the jam, and the Astros strand a pair. Bottom of the second coming up. No score. All Cop 2 starring Kevin James. It's coming in theaters soon. In fact, it's in theaters now. Paul Blart. All Cop 2. Lots of goodies in that store. It is Authentic Fan Friday here at the Coliseum. Up in the value deck. Good deals all around tonight. First pitch to Cody Ross is in for a strike. Ross, Laurie, and Fegley for the A's here in the bottom of the second. No score. Keiko, 88, 89 miles an hour. He mixes up his pitches well. He faced the A's 4 times last year, and he pitched well in all 4 games, and the Astros won all 4 games. How about that? 4 starts, ERA 2.48. Lowry grabs it, flips it across, 1 away. So 3 ground ball outs out of the 4 outs recorded by Keiko. So he's doing his thing in the very early going as Brett Laurie steps up.
All 3 have been to the shortstop.
Yep. The shortstop by right-handed hitters, so let's get him out front just a little bit.
A little late movement. I think this game's kind of going the way we might have thought it would. There's another one.
Carter hustles to the bag, so that's the second out.
Yeah. I think as a right-hand hitter, I think those are the type of outs you want to see. Staying on the ball, going the other way.
So look at the ground ball outs compared to the fly ball outs, and I can tell you that's in a really, really good ratio. And this season, better than all the other ones. His sinker's really subtle, though, isn't it? I mean, if you just sit here and watch Keiko, it just looks like he's just throwing 88, 89.
He's not lighting up the radar gun.
No, but everything is down.
As a hitter, the ball comes out of his hand and just looks so hittable. And then by the time it gets to the plate, you're wondering where it went.
Lowry fires to first, and they got him. What a play by Jed Lowry. Bob Melvin, a couple steps out of the dugout, turns around to see if he should challenge it. And Lowry with a nice diving play. The phone's not cooperating. That's not going to help the situation at all.
It's close.
Well, this may be the best look.
This is going to be the one here.
Oh man,
yeah,
I don't know.
You can't overturn that one.
Boy, that's about as close as you're going to get. Yeah. And he was called out, and the A's are going to have to live with the call. So a nice play by Lowry, the shortstop, and we're under the third, no score. Teachers that make a difference. Visit csncalifornia.com and vote. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. And that is Carmen Cotos, one of the 5 finalists with a chance to win $20,000 for her school. Carmen is a 6th grade math and science intervention teacher. That means her students are about 2 years below grade level. And this is where she believes she can make the most impact. For the past 6 years, her students have improved more in math than any other school in the Gilroy School District. So she's doing a terrific job. To vote for Ms. Cotto, visit www.csncalifornia.com. Keep up the good work. Top of the third, it's Robbie Grossman, who falls behind quickly 0-2. Nice ball is high. Grossman, and then the top of the order, Altuve and Valbuena. Able to hold up? Yes, he was.
Okay. Looks like a changeup he threw in right here. Let's see if he held. Big leg kick. Yeah, he held. As long as that barrel doesn't cross the plate.
Gentry went back. Now he's got to hustle in, but he makes the catch. So 1 out, and the top of the order, Jose Altuve.
Number 27, Jose Altuve.
So Eric, you're doing a lot of work for the Yankees. Tell us a little bit about some of the things you're doing for that organization.
Yeah, doing some stuff. Wearing a couple different hats. Was in spring training with them and getting the scout and doing a little bit of coaching.
See what you like, right?
Yep.
Altuve goes down and rips one into left field. He goes after the first pitch.
I think he's decided he's going to be aggressive tonight.
Now batting.
Another changeup. He's kind of got out in front and hooked it in the hole there. Just a good hitter.
He's been a good hitter against the A's as well.
Good hitter against everybody.
Yep. Batting champ last year. Led the league in hits. And that last hit by Altuve, with that last hit, he now has a 27-game hitting streak against the Athletics. He's closing in on the record books. 27-game hitting streak against the A's. And you got to watch him because he will go. He's 5 for 6 in steals this year.
Well, the A's are yet to throw out a runner.
Astros 16 for 17 this year. Toward Gentry, left center. He gets over there and makes the catch. So a well struck ball, but it just hung up there for Gentry.
Yeah, put a good swing on it. I think it was a fastball away. Put a good swing on it. Oh, little bat flip. I don't know. He's got a lot of pine tar too, so you know it's not for the lack of pine tar.
Oh yeah, that baby's gone. No, no, maybe not quite. Springer swings early, and he's retired, and so are the Astros. Bottom of the third coming up. It'll be Gentry, Sogard, and Simeon. No score. Let's look at the numbers for Eric Chavez. 17 seasons in the big leagues, of course 13 with the A's. 230 career home runs with the Athletics. That's 4th all time. He's got the Gold Gloves. We all know about those. 6 of them. And you told me in spring training that you really don't miss playing. And you know what? I'm glad for you. Otherwise, It would be a little bit more of a struggle, right?
Yep.
First time out,
mentally,
first year out. No. But you're enjoying everything you're doing.
Very much so.
See some more of the kids, right?
Yep.
That's great.
Watching a lot of baseball.
You're probably watching more baseball now than you did when you played.
Yes, tons. Here's my pick to click right here. We're going to get this guy going.
He needs to. It has been a struggle for Gentry. That's going to get down. Aaron Chavez called it, and Gentry has his first hit. And we're happy about that. He was 0 for 22.
Throw that ball in. Little fastball away, stays on it. That's the approach you want to have tonight against Keuchel. Right-handed hitters trying to take the ball the other way. It's a good piece of hitting. Really happy for him right there. He's going to sleep much better tonight. Dinner's going to taste just a little bit better.
So the A's have a leadoff man, and here's Sogard. Sogard hitting .262, couple of RBIs. Drag bunt. Carter's got it. Altuve hustles over, and Altuve is able to get there, and Sogard is retired. No sacrifice for Sogard.
Now batting first up, number 10, Watkins. Sit in.
Get the ball. Everybody said they know what he was going through.
So he wants to smile. That's okay.
I don't think he has yet, though.
All right, now he's in scoring position. Simeon the hitter. Simeon struck out in the first. That's the only strikeout for Keuchel so far. There's a base hit right field. Springer has it. They will hold Gentry, and Springer gets it in quickly with a good strong arm.
Little sinker away, stayed on it again. Good piece of hit. Yeah, he kind of stutter stepped right there just a little bit, kind of prevented him from scoring. But with one out, you got Canna. Let's see if he can get a fly ball to the outfield here and get that run in.
Springer playing pretty shallow. So the A's will try to come through again.
Let's see if Keuchel adjusts to what the A's are doing to him now. Maybe start pitching on the inside part of the plate more.
Well, he's thinking ground ball. Canna's thinking line drive or fly ball.
Get the ball in the air.
That one just missed, and it's 2-0. So Keuchel trying to kind of pitch on the perimeter.
Yep. Mark's been expanding the zone just a little bit the last few games. Let's see if he can zone him up here a little bit, get a good pitch to hit.
And that one is high, and now it's 3-0 with Zobrist in the on-deck circle. The thing with somebody like Keuchel, though, is even if he's behind in the counter, he always has the sinker to go to.
Yes.
And even if he walks this guy,
to get him out of trouble. Correct.
3-0 pitch, and he missed outside, and the bases are loaded with one out. So he was just nibbling. He wanted Canna to chase a little bit, and Canna did not.
Yep. He's got to give up some base on balls. But like you said, he knows he's got that sinker to go to get him out of trouble.
Number 18, and Zobrist.
So a good opportunity for Zobrist and the A's. Zobrist walked in the first inning. Couple of walks issued by Keuchel. And that one misses outside. Well, at some point he's going to have to not nibble and come in there.
Yeah, I think if you're Ben right here, I think you want to take a strike.
And 2-0. 6 straight for Keuchel. So not a good ball strike ratio.
See Altuve trying to slow him down just a little bit. You're one pitch away from getting out of this inning is what he's telling you.
Gentry, Simeon Canna are the runners, and that one in first try. 88 miles an hour.
He's still staying on the outside part of that plate too.
Right to Altuve, shovels to second for 1, and that's a double play. So Dallas Keuchel did what he wanted to do. He finally got the ground ball, and it was a 4-6-3 double play, and the A's do not score.
$15,000 fans will receive a pair of A's branded mustache socks driven by Chevrolet. Get your tickets now by calling 877-493-BALL or visiting theathletics.com/tickets.
Cool night here at the O.co. No score, top of the 4th inning. It'll be Lowry, Gaddis, and Carter in Scott Kazmir. Walk and a strikeout and a couple hits allowed for Kazmir so far. And that one's flipped into right field for a base hit. So they set up inside, Eric, and Kazmir tried to get it in there, but Lowry, a little inside out swing. Watch where the catcher sets up on this pitch. He's coming in.
Number 11, Evan Gaddis.
Yeah, a little cut fastball. He got the pitch exactly where he wanted it. Brought his hands in. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the hitter. Good piece of hitting.
And here's Gaddis. Gaddis had a base hit in the second inning. Big swing, and he skies it to center, but room for Gentry. Gentry has it. Gaddis not waiting around either. Goes after the first pitch. Lowry this year against lefties, 9 for 15. Altuve 9 for 60. So batting average against left-handers this year. Maybe that's why Lowry is hitting in the cleanup spot. especially with Gaddis and Carter struggling so much. Good pitch there by Kazmir. Starts Carter out with a strike on the outside corner.
Let's see if Kaz can take a little page out of Keuchel's book and get the ground ball here.
He's trying. Good spot right there. Carter takes it again. It's 0-2. That's the look of a man who should be in the snow somewhere right now. Ice fishing. And Carter chases the changeup. So not a good at bat for Chris Carter.
Back to the changeup. That's twice today that somebody has swung at a ball that's about a foot or two on the other side of the batter's box. So that changeup must be really dancing up there for these guys.
So here's Colby Rasmus. Fielders slide to the left some. Fastball in for a strike. Simeon, the shortstop, playing almost right behind second base.
Rasmus did not like that ball.
I think Gary Cedarstrom know about it. That one at the knees for a strike. So a quick 0-2, and Rasmus with a little smile.
So the pitch before, he gave him the one a little high, and then he gives him the one a little low. As a hitter, you're thinking, come on, Gary, one or the other. You can't give them both.
Bigley sets up outside, and a swing and a miss with a fastball. So 3 pitches, and Rasmus strikes out. Couple of strikeouts for Kazmir here in the top of the 4th. For tonight, go back to yesterday afternoon. Jesse Chavez was very good. Spot start against the Angels in Anaheim. What can you say? Gives up 1 hit. 90 pitches, but that 1 hit was a 2-run homer, and the A's were shut out for the first time 2-0. Can't blame Jesse Chavez for that one. He took the loss, but he was good. But the A's just could not get much going and made one mistake. Kind of a frustrating afternoon.
Yeah, it was. He did a very good job. He's got good stuff.
Yes. Very valuable for the A's. Just stepped right in and pitched great. Ripped towards center, but Rasmus is there. Butler is retired. Phillies with that big scoring opportunity in the third inning with bases loaded and 1 out. Double play by Zobrist ended it.
Whatever Altuve told him, it was the right thing.
Yeah. So here's Ross. Guy's just kind of rocking and firing. I mean, how important is it for a hitter to try to do something to just kind of break his rhythm or slow him down?
You got to try something, definitely. But I think Cody's trying to feel for it himself too. So
changeup, 79 miles an hour, and boy, that looked and acted like his fastball. Good sinking action. So now Ross is behind 1-2. He grounded to short second inning. Well, he must have played with Cody, right?
Yep.
In Arizona.
Yep. Loved him. He had that horrific hip injury at first base, man. I was surprised to see him come back as fast as he did.
And he strikes out on another changeup. That one at 78 miles an hour. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, looks exactly like his fastball. Just pulled the string on him a little bit. Cody just out in front. Third baseman, 15, Brett Lawrie.
Is there any point in the at bat when you realize that the pitch is a changeup, even though it looks so much like a fastball?
If it's a good one, usually when you swing
when
through
you
it.
swing and miss. Okay, so there's nothing you can do, right, to read that. Hey, oh, this is definitely a changeup. If it's a good one, it looks like a fastball.
Yes, very much. If it's a good one, yes. The one he threw Cody was a very good one. How fast is he working?
He is just a rock and fire, man.
Oh,
what a play. Throw to first, and they got him. Terrific play by Jed Lowry, and he's had quite a night in the field, the Astros shortstop. So check this out. Nice pick against the speedy Lawrie. Makes this play so tough, Eric?
well, it's an in-between hop, but if you look at him here, he didn't even see the ball. He puts his glove down, catches it, kind of turns his eyes. He's looking at the left fielder there. And nevertheless, good play. Especially with your with your eyes closed.
Put a smile on his face. Conger to lead it off. But there's a significant difference between an in-between hop and a short hop. A short hop is not a hard play.
Right, correct.
In-between hop,
correct.
That's the hard play.
Right.
That was an in-between hop.
Right. And the difference between that is the hop's just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But he had some topspin on that ball. It was a nice play. Just look, Mom, no eyes.
A little flare. And Conger's got himself a base hit. Wasn't pretty, but Conger will take it on a cold night. May feel it for a little while.
Another good pitch. Inside part of the plate, little cutter. Keeps his hands in, kind of just dunks it into right field there. When you're going as bad as these Astros are going, you'll take anything.
So leadoff man on here in the top of the fifth, and here's Grossman. Grossman takes a strike. Grossman hit a fly ball to center field in the third. When we were in Houston last week, Jake Marisnick starts in the outfield, a right-handed hitter. Grossman is a switch hitter. Marisnick not playing tonight.
He looks like a good player.
Yeah, he's having a nice year.
Yeah.
Marisnick plays a pretty good outfield. He's in 350. Night off. He's won 2 out of 3 last week in Houston. He won the first 2 games of that series and then got shut down by Colin McHugh. They will not see McHugh in this series. This will be pitch number 60 for Kazmir.
Definitely got ourselves a pitcher's duel here.
Yeah.
See these guys going deep into the ball game tonight.
And a good pitch, 1-2.
Yeah, a little cutter there, but it kind of backed up on him. You wanted it on the inside part of the plate, ended up on the outside part of the plate.
Short lead for Conger. And Conger is heading back to first base pretty much every time. Altuve will be next. Changeup, and he got him swinging. Boy, it just kind of floats in there and seems like it never gets to the plate.
That's been a strikeout pitch tonight. That changeup, that Bugs Bunny changeup, looks like a heater. And when he's hitting the inside part of the plate like that as a hitter, you start getting jumpy a little bit. And he kind of pulls the string on that changeup and got you out in front.
So Altuve steps in. He's been swinging early in the count, so Kazmir has to be careful for that. He's got a fly ball to center, and he's got a base hit. Spot one right on the outside corner. Best way to put on Altuve, although he'll swing at pitches up around his eyes, down around his shoe tops. And he can handle those. Average speed tonight on the 2-seam fastball 91, the slider 86, the changeup 76. He's hit 94 one time. Yeah, that changeup.
It's going to equalize it tonight.
That one off the glove of Fegley, and Conger is going to head to second. Just kind of popped right out of his glove.
Yeah. Yeah, he sets up on the inside part of the plate, and I just don't think he was looking for it up there. He was set up on the inside.
It is a pass ball.
As well it should be. Kind of took his eye off it a little bit there, you could see.
So now the go-ahead run is at second base with a very tough out at the plate.
He puts the barrel on the ball is what he does.
Yes, he does.
And the pitches can be anywhere.
Well, and he's not afraid to go line to line. He doesn't care where his hits go.
Yeah.
And he does have some power. Turned out to be a terrific player. He's got to backhand that one. Some notes on Jose Altuve. Most hits in the major leagues since 2013. Nobody more than him. He got more than Miguel Cabrera. Come on. Cano and Jones. He's got more than all of them. He's not going to walk a lot. Two pitch. He does that too. Fouls, pitches on.
Scotty's got to find a pitch he wants to go to right here. Last at bat, he threw him that changeup and he poked it in the left field. So I wonder if that's in the back of Scotty's head. Wow, looks like that changeup grip. Yep.
Popped it up. Fegley coming over, and it'll be into the seats.
The changeup's been his out pitch the whole night. This is what good hitters do. They spoil good pitches. He might have wanted that a little bit more down.
So 2-2. Good battle here between Kazmir and Altuve. So he conquered the runner at second. Very close. 3-2.
Still good at bat. Scotty makes a close pitch and good hitter just laid off of it.
So Valbuena is the on deck hitter. He's a left-handed hitter. And he missed low. So Altuve wins the battle and he takes a walk. Pretty good at bat there by Jose Altuve. He will, even though he's aggressive, he will toss out good at bats.
Very good at bat. Looked like Scotty had the changeup grip. I don't know, 88. I don't know if he overthrew that one or what, but the last at bat, he must have had in the back of his mind that he hit his changeup for a hit.
So that'll bring up Luis Valbuena, who has grounded out and lined out. Valbuena coming over from the Cubs in the offseason in the Dexter Fowler trade. He is the Astros' everyday third baseman. Kazmir kicks the first pitch. Hit high in the air, foul on the left field line. So lefty on lefty.
Been very aggressive tonight.
Simeon trying to keep Conger somewhat close. Popped up. Shallow center. And Gentry grabs it for the second out. So Kazmir trying to get out of the inning.
Now batting, number 4, George Springer.
Set up on the inside part. Scotty just challenged him with a fastball. Balbuena looks like he was upset with himself. Maybe thought he should have clicked that one too, but as many home runs as he's been hitting, he expects to hit them all out.
Yeah,
I think.
yes. So now Kazmir will try to get George Springer. Strikeout and a ground out for Springer. And a good first pitch right on the outside. Keep it away from Springer, and the way he swings really seems to pull off quite a bit, especially when he's going bad, and he is struggling. So
yeah,
you want to keep the ball away from him.
Yeah, I think his first 2 pitches you want to speed him up a little bit. And as we get on, I think Scotty's going to finish him off with some off speed.
So when you say speed him up a little bit, have him thinking fastball and then throw him something off speed.
Yeah, 93. You got to get geared up a little. He's struggling, so he wants to swing out of his slump.
Goes down to get that one. So the count even at 2-2. 76 pitches for Kazmir. He's worked hard this inning. The breakdown: 22 in the second, 21 here in the fifth. He went with a heater at 93, and Springer strikes out for the second time. So a couple of runners stranded. We're going to the bottom of the fifth. Still no score. California is brought to you by Prism. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Prism. Learn how at prism.com. Pitchers duel at the Coliseum. Astros nothing, A's nothing. Bottom of the fifth inning. Crowd tonight a little over 18,000 on a Friday night. As Fegley leads it off, he hits it hard, but right to Jed Lowry. And that's the first out.
I think Lowry's going to need a new glove after
or his will be worked in, broken in.
Now batting center fielder.
Were you a one glove a year guy?
Yeah. One gamer, one backup.
All right. So did the backup become the gamer the next year then, or
no?
Started all over.
Yes.
So what did you do with the glove at the end of the year?
Put it in the closet.
There you go.
You
so does that mean you got 17 gloves in your class?
I got a bunch.
34. You had the gamer in the backup. 17 years.
Now they'd send you about 3 gloves in the offseason. You pick one and get that ready for the season.
Gotcha. When do you start getting it ready, though?
As soon as you get it in December. Good gloves should take about a little bit over a month and a half.
So it was ready for spring training, pretty much.
The first 2 weeks definitely were pivotal for that glove to see if it was going to stick or not.
It better stick.
Look at Lowry.
What are you going to do if it doesn't?
His hand's hurting from fielding so many balls.
Oh, and 2 to Gentry. Just got a piece of it.
Yep, little fastball away, kind of dunks it into right field, and crack a smile. Come on, Gentry.
Reaches for that one, hits it right off the end of the bat. But look at the pitch count for Keuchel, 54.
Yeah.
With 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. So double play helped him. He had a very quick 4th inning. Strike percentage 55%. First pitch strikes 10 out of 17. A couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts. Did Gentry go? No. Lance Barksdale says he held up.
A little slurve, and he offers at it, and that's pretty close.
Yeah. Into the air, shallow right center. So Gentry is retired. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The A's got shut out yesterday for the first time this season. So they're sitting on 13 consecutive scoreless innings going back to yesterday.
Well, it's kind of my reference earlier. Baseball's contagious all around.
Sometimes it can look like there's probably 13 defenders out there. One to Sogard, who had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. And a hanger there. It's a foul.
Sogard does a good job of just keeping his head still, his body soft.
Seems like that bat stays in the hitting zone for a long time as well.
I mean, that was a good 0-2 pitch right there, and he didn't even flinch at it.
Spreads out a little bit. If you spread out a little bit, it's a little tougher to get fooled as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. He's just. That's a tough pitch right there. He pulled his hands in and got to that. If you got a lot of movement, that's a tough pitch to get to right there.
Keuchel kick setting up outside. And he got him. Outside corner, Sogard didn't like it. 3 up, 3 down inning, and that's 7 in a row retired by Dallas Keuchel. Pitcher's duel in Oakland. No score after 5. Scott Kazmir picked up his 50th career win, and it was against the A's when he was with the Rays. Final strikeout, though, Eric, we hate to do this to you. We don't want to do it, but he got you. That was a pretty nasty pitch.
Good pitcher.
Man.
He was good then. He's good now.
Different, though, right? Hard thrower back then. Maybe doesn't throw quite as hard now.
A little bit harder.
Towards center, and Gentry, right center. He was shaded that way. Lowry's retired. 1 pitch, 1 out. 11th major league season for Kazmir. Rays, Angels, Indians, A's. All-star 3 times, including last year. So you saw him when he had 239 strikeouts in 2007. Run it up there 96, 97 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's a good career. He's going to get 100 wins this year.
There's that changeup, 76 miles an hour. Giannis missed it. Gaddis had that base hit in the 2nd inning. 1 of 4 hits for the Astros. Gaddis, certainly unique hitting style. I mean, he doesn't wear gloves, which is somewhat rare, but hunches over a little bit. Spreads out for a big guy.
It's not the prettiest.
He's pretty spread out.
Yeah. Strong. You got to be strong to be that spread out.
Down the right field line, and it is going to be just foul.
Tell you what, that's when you're struggling, that's the best approach to have, to go the other way. And the reason I say that is because you got to see the ball, you got to let it travel. You got to stay inside the baseball and go the other way. So if you're struggling, it's a good place to start.
Plenty of hits to right field. And a Changeup and a swing and a miss. So strikeout number 6.
He's been throwing this pitch the whole night. Good little Bugs Bunny changeup. Threw 3 of them to Gaddis in that at bat.
But he missed that by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So 2 outs. Here's Carter. First pitch strikes 18 of 22. So he is on target again tonight.
No, Kurt Young loves that.
Changeup, swing and a miss. Chris Carter, a fly ball to right field and a strikeout swinging. Simeon in the hole. Backhands, fires across in time, side retired. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Kazmir. See if the A's can get something going in the bottom of the 6th.
As advertised, a pitcher's duel. Kazmir's got a new strikeout pitch and a changeup. Fastball right there to Springer. Keuchel, as advertised too, getting a lot of ground balls. The biggest play of the game right here, the double play ball to Zobrist. Altuve, double play. Time now for the AT&T U-verse Rewind. Tag. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So bottom of the 6th and the top of the order for the Athletics. Simeon, Canna, and Zobrist. Trying to get something going against Keuchel, who has settled in and retired 7 in a row. The last hit he allowed was the hit to Simeon. 3-0. Kazmir 6 strong, Keuchel 5 strong as he pours in strong. And a high strike called 3-2. So he took a step toward first base.
3-1 fastball here. Starts off a little high, and then he's got that late movement. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Third baseman Valbuena, bare hands, and what a play by Luis Valbuena. Boy, the Astros have been picking it tonight.
Very good play. Simeon rolls over here. Fast runner, has the barehanded. Throws it from down low. Throws a strike to Chris Carter. Very good play.
Javi, at what point are you deciding you got a barehanded?
The runner. The runner helps with that, and also you know, the speed of the ball.
But I mean, if you're going to barehanded, you have to get your body in a little bit of a different position than you would if you were going to field it with the glove hand, right?
Yes, it definitely helps.
Springer has it. Canna's retired.
The key to that play, though, he kept his eye on that ball when he went down there with the bare hand. He's coming in pretty fast there. Keeps his eye on the ball, in the hands, throws from down low, knows who's running. It's a very, very good play. Well, when you're working fast, though, your infielders are on their toes.
They're ready. Pitch number 70 coming up from Keuchel. It's low to Zobrist. Again, we're just in the third week of this season, so individual statistics and team statistics, it's a small sample size. I think we all know that. But they are what they are, and coming into tonight, the Houston Astros have the best team ERA in the American League.
Yes.
And you mentioned the bullpen, how good they have been.
Yep.
So really, the defense has been pretty good, and they're not really scoring a lot of runs, but 3.00 last season, 4.11. They were 12th out of 15 teams. Another bouncer, that's a fair ball. Felt one at picks, throws in time, side retired. So Keuchel rolling along. That's 10 in a row. He's retired, and we're headed to the 7th. Still no score.
Authenticated memorabilia behind section 120. Items include game used or signed baseballs, jerseys, bats, bases, and more. You can also shop online at athletics.com/gameused. Portions of the proceeds benefit the Oakland A's Community Fund.
Good looking jacket right there. The World Series patches on. You see that Doolittle guy get back.
Yeah, right.
Eric Chavez jersey or Jesse Chavez jersey? Rasmus hits it hard right into the shift. Simeon playing on the right side of the diamond. One pitch, one out. So that's 6 in a row retired by Scott Kazmir.
Now batting, number 16.
Rangers and the Angels opening up the series tonight in Anaheim. Texas 2, the Angels 1. A game in the 5th inning. Wandy Rodriguez called up from the minor leagues to pitch for the Rangers against Garrett Richards. Second series of the year between those two teams. Big, and I mean big, rumor going on around Josh Hamilton that
maybe
nothing official, still working on it, but the rumor all over baseball is that Josh Hamilton is going to get traded back to the Texas Rangers.
I saw that.
And it's not official yet, so just going with what we've seen on the internet and on Twitter. But
that was
all the major news outlets had the deal. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of getting a few things worked out. Again, that's just what we've been reading and hearing. Sounds like if it does happen, the Angels would pay most of his salary.
Yeah,
the Rangers would have to pay a little bit of it. So we'll see if that indeed comes down. If it does, that is a foul ball. If it does, Hamilton would go back to the Rangers. That'd be interesting.
And I think he never should have left.
Well, yeah, if he's going to go anywhere, that may be the best place for him to go if he can get his career back on track. We'll see. Whatever it happens, we wish him the best of luck.
Absolutely.
But again, nothing official on that, just a hot rumor. Mariners leading the Twins 2-0 in the 7th inning at Safeco. That's a night court game with Felix Hernandez pitching. Keep an eye on that one. Mariners and the Twins. Full count now to Conger. Conger with a ground out and a single. And that one misses badly with a changeup. Conger's board for the second time. So walk number 3 for Kazmir. He's got 6 strikeouts. The pitch count at 94. The Royals and the White Sox, good ball game, 2-2. They, as far as we know, are behaving themselves tonight. Of course, you never can completely tell. But it's 2-2, 9th inning, and it started to rain in Chicago. And they are in a rain delay. And this is what happened last night with those two teams. Remember, they opened up the season against each other. They had issues, and last night, right in the middle of it again, is Yordano Ventura. And Eaton, the leadoff hitter, and Ventura yelling at each other, and then it got started. And watch Jeff Samardzija. There's Samardzija. Yeah. Samardzija took on about 6 Royals.
The shark coming in fast.
He did. He came in hot. So he was not happy with the Royals. And we laugh about it, but Samardzija could be in for missing some time here. I mean, I'd be surprised if he gets suspended. We have not heard it. That is not Jeff Samardzija. That's a Samardzija fan. We have not heard of any penalties levied just yet from last night, although I think there may be some. So the Royals have had 6 players ejected this year already.
Yeah, not a good thing.
Yeah, it's getting a little weird there in Kansas City. The 1-0 pitch is a strike. 1-1 to Robbie Grossman. So Abad and Scribner, lefty and a righty, starting to throw as we are into the late innings of a scoreless game. A little flare. Ross coming in. He'll get there. He's hung up there for Cody. So 2 outs, and the top of the order, Jose Altuve, with Kazmir closing in on 100 pitches.
Number 27, Jose
Pretty sure Kurt Young went out there and told him This is going to be your last inning. Go get him. Leave nothing out there.
Well, his last start in Kansas City, he had that 2-1 lead into the 8th inning. Walked the leadoff man and ended up leaving after 7 1/3, and the Royals scored 3 in that inning. So he pitched terrific, ended up with a no decision, and the A's lost the game. So he was thinking, I got a shot to get a win here, and ended up with no decision. 1-0 to Altuve.
They've thrown over a lot with Conger at first.
I'm pretty sure he's not going anywhere.
I'm pretty sure too.
He has a very small lead. And every time Kazmir throws to the plate, he's going back to first base.
Gave it a little slide step right there too.
Now, is that the look of a guy who's going to steal a bag? I don't think so. Now he's probably going to take off and make us look bad. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Conger is going to round second and stay there. So Altuve, he's 2 for 3. A couple singles and a walk.
Number 18, Luis.
So fastball away, puts the barrel on it again.
So now it's Valbuena, lefty on lefty. Valbuena ground out, a line out, and a fly ball to center.
This will be his last batter.
So Conger at second, Altuve at first. Outfield shifted toward left center for Valbuena. Outfield's also pretty shallow. Good swing by Valbuena, fouls it straight back.
He's taking some really good hacks tonight. He must be seeing the ball pretty good off of him.
Loads up a little bit.
Just a little tardy on it.
Valbuena with 5 home runs on the year. He lays off that pitch. Abad and Scribner are ready out in the A's bullpen. The Astros bullpen, as you would figure, is quiet. Keuchel has a low pitch count through 6 innings. And slider down and away. So 1-2.
I don't know if this is a slider or a cutter.
Maybe a cutter.
Yeah, I think it was the cutter.
Pretty good break for a cutter.
Yeah, wonderful.
Kazmir, long look at second. That one down and away. Fegley with a nice block. So 2-2 the count.
He's had some really good swings on that straight fastball. I don't see him going back to that pitch. So look for a changeup or a slider.
2-2 pitch is rolled foul, and it was the breaking pitch. So 105 pitches now for Kazmir. His last start threw 103. 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and in. He struck him out, and that is strikeout number 7 for Scott Kazmir. 2 more stranded for the Astros. They have now stranded 8 through 7 innings. So it's 7th inning stretch time here in Oakland. No score. Astros in the A's. Highest batting average versus low pitches. How about that? He's a low ball hitter, huh?
I think so.
Versus low pitches. Billy Butler hit 458. So you can get any stat you want now, you know, versus low pitches. Well, Keuchel,
low ball pitcher.
There you go. So we got.
Is that a call right? Is that a call right there?
You had a Gentry call earlier. You can call a Butler base hit. First pitch strike to Keuchel. Butler, Ross, and Laurie here for the A's in the bottom of the 7th inning. No score. A's have not had a lot of opportunities. They had the one big opportunity in the 3rd. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Right. That's it.
But that's really it. Carter charges, gets the big hop, steps in the bag. Easy out, 1 away. So that's 11 in a row retired by Keuchel, and he's thrown just 76 pitches. Yankees beat the Mets today. Or tonight. That was at Yankee Stadium. So the Mets' 11-game winning streak comes to an end. 6-1 was the final. Mark Teixeira hit a couple of home runs. He now has 7 on the year and 370 in his career. Ross hits one deep but foul. Big night at Yankee Stadium. 45,310. Chilly as well. Pineda over DeGrom. Getting Michael Pineda back throwing the ball well, that would be huge for the Yankees, and he has been throwing the ball well. He's 3-0.
Yes, very well. Threw the ball very well in spring training too.
That's one of those, if you're the Yankees, you just kind of keep your fingers crossed. If he comes back, that would be huge for them.
Yeah, he's back.
Changeup, swing and a miss, and the count is 2-2.
Tanaka's the one that crossed it.
Yeah, well, that's, you can see that. He's looked okay. Is there 210 innings in that on? No. Cross drives into right. That's hit well. Springer on the move, still on the move, and Springer makes the catch. He was playing very shallow So he had a long ways to go, but he was able to get back there and make the catch. The Astros outfielders play shallow.
They do. Cody put a good bullet in this one. It's a thick air here in Oakland at nighttime. It's tough to hit, especially when it gets really cold and damp like tonight. The day game, that ball was probably off the wall.
So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch to Lori. Bit outside. That game in Chicago, we just told you that it was in a rain delay. They have now postponed it. They will resume that game tomorrow. There's too much rain. High to right again. Springer going back. And now he makes the catch right at the warning track side. Retired. 13 in a row retired by the lefty Dallas Keuchel. 8th inning coming up.
Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Top of the 8th. 0-0. 7 total hits in the game. Keuchel's been terrific. Kazmir was terrific. Kazmir is done for the night. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. It's Evan Scribner. Off to a very good start. 1 walk, 10 strikeouts in 9 2/3 innings.
Very impressive numbers.
Throwing a cutter now, Xavi, and it's been a big plus for him.
That's what it looks like. He's getting left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters.
106 pitches for Kazmir. 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. So another very, very strong performance by Kazmir. He's got an ERA now of 0.99. Springer takes the first pitch strike. Springer, Lowry, Gaddis here in the 8th inning. In the air toward right. Problem for Cody Ross. So Springer is 0 for 4.
Now batting, number 8, Jed Lowry.
And now Lowry will hit from the left side for the first time. Indians beat the Tigers 13-1 in Detroit. A couple of home runs for Brandon Moss. Moss had 2 home runs and 7 RBIs tonight for the Tribe. Salazar over Green. Tigers, off to that great start, they have now lost 4 in a row. Red Sox beat the Orioles 7-5. Ortiz, Ramirez home runs. Holt the home run. David Ortiz now with 470 career home runs. Swing by Lowry. The count is 1-2.
Cutter slider. That's a slider. Let's see the spin on that.
Scribner at the count. Swing hit shallow left field. Canna is going to call everybody off. He's got it. So Lowry is out. He's 1 for 4. And with 2 outs, Gaddis will hit. Rays beat the Blue Jays 12-3 in St. Petersburg. So that's your American League scoreboard. First pitch to Gaddis. Hit hard into center field for a base hit. So Scribner, first pitch curveball, and Gaddis really weighted nicely on it, and he's 2 for 4.
It's a good piece of hitting right there. Big 12-6 curveball down in the zone, waits on it.
Number 23.
Nice little line drive into center field.
Carter.
So Gaddis is out. Marwin Gonzalez is your pinch runner. And Bod up again. So here's Carter. Scribner's going to have to be careful.
Marwin Gonzalez running for Gaddis.
The Astros have an extra reliever. They actually have Josh Fields back today. Fields was on the disabled list. So they have 8 relievers, which means they only have 3 extra position players.
Right.
Castro, Marisnik, and Gonzalez. Gonzalez in the game as the pinch runner.
As good as a bullpen. They went that route.
Well, they've been waiting to get back. He's a pretty good reliever. Big swing and miss, 90 miles an hour.
Just kind of going straight at him right there. You can see Chris kind of pulling off. His eyes looking down the left field line a little bit.
2 pitch, here it is. It's blocked, but now Gonzalez caught in the middle. Throw to second base. Now there's a rundown. Sogard and Fegley ends up making the tag, and that's how the inning ends. So Gonzalez, I'm not sure what he was doing. He was caught halfway between first and second. So the A's get him out, and we're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Still no score. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. No runs, searching for runs. 0-6-0 for the Astros. Just 2 hits for the Athletics. No errors. Keuchel back out there. He's 83 pitches through 7 innings. Scott Kazmir 106 pitches through 7 innings. He's done. This is how the top of the inning ended. Is that, I mean, what are we talking about? A delayed steal?
No.
Doesn't make much sense.
What happened was he saw the catcher go down to his knees, and he was anticipating the ball bouncing off of him,
and it did.
Josh came up with a nice play, and
so I think he's trying to be aggressive because high to left field, Grossman is going to have room, and he's got it. So Fegley is retired. So he's trying to be aggressive, thinking, hey, I got to get to second base somehow because that's the go-ahead run, and we're in the 8th inning.
That's exactly what he was doing. And as soon as Josh went down to his knees, he knew the ball was. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know, Josh just came up with a good play and ended up throwing him out. But
so if it kicks away even a little bit,
he's going to be safe. Yeah.
Strike to Gentry. Gentry a single and a fly ball to right field. Flipper starts to throw. Sogard will follow. Gentry wants a little time. And he chased, and he gets the strikeout. 4th strikeout for Dallas Keuchel.
Well, he's got all his pitches working tonight. The changeup right there kind of turns it over. Gets Gentry out in front just a little bit. Definitely on his game tonight.
So good pitch count. Highest was 16 in the 1st inning. Sogard takes the first pitch strike. Mariners are leading the Twins 2-0, and Felix Hernandez is going for the shutout. He's got 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Felix trying to go to 3-0, and I would imagine that Safeco Field is a little worked up at this point.
I bet you so.
Good scene when he pitches up there, especially on a Friday night. He's 2 outs away from a shutout.
He's really transitioned himself from a power pitcher to a pitcher.
And he can still strike you out.
He can.
Maybe in different ways than he did 7-8 years ago.
Right.
Sogard holds up. Indeed. You saw him when he was throwing 97, 98 miles an hour. Now he sits at 91, 92.
Yeah.
Got a lot of other good stuff.
But his best pitch is that BP kind of 89, 88 mile an hour heater.
Usually sinks or cuts or does something crazy.
Sinks, yeah.
Two and two to Sogard, who is a sacrifice bunt, and he struck out looking. And that one just missed, a little bit low.
It's a good take right there. Seeing the ball well from taking that pitch.
0-2 pitch is bounced to second. Altuve has it. And that is 16 in a row retired by Dallas Keuchel. And folks, it's 0-0 as we go to the ninth. Scott Kazmir. Great again. 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. He has been terrific in all 4 of his starts this year. His ERA is now 0.99, but unfortunately, he just got a workout tonight. No decision.
Did what he was supposed to do.
Yep.
Back-to-back days now. He's got quality starts.
So 9th inning, and the A's go to their bullpen for the second time, and it's the closer Tyler Clippard. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. So Clippard on for his 7th appearance. Carter on a fastball, fouls it right side, and now it's 0-2. Carter, Rasmus, and Conger. Keuchel said, I can't do anymore.
I don't think he's broken a sweat yet.
He has 16 in a row. He's retired. He looks like the guy who's actually pitching later on in the series.
Wake him up.
Yeah,
somebody
like,
wake him up.
I'm done charting. I don't really have to worry about pitching for a couple days.
Whoa.
Catcher nightmare.
Yeah, looking for a heater. Got the curveball.
So 2 pitch, and Carter jumped on that high fastball, fouls it straight back.
Got away with one there. Very good Astros bullpen.
Yeah. Nobody's moved tonight from their seat. Carter lines one into left for a hit. That was that Clippard changeup, but it just kind of hung up there and it dropped right into the hitting zone for Carter.
Yeah. Very lucky to get that ball back.
Number 28.
Lauer was on the line there playing no doubles, so he had no chance to get there. I don't know if he would have caught that ball anyway.
So leadoff man aboard here in the top of the 9th for Colby Rasmus. Laurie is looking for a bunt. He is in on the grass. Rasmus is not bunting, and he fouls it back. So Felix Hernandez finished off the shutout, a 5-hit shutout tonight for the Mariners. The Mariners beat the Twins 2-0. So Hernandez 102 pitches. Again, no walks, 9 strikeouts. He got 12 ground ball outs. So he had it all working tonight. Felix Hernandez shuts out the Twins. And now it's 0-2, and Kobe Rasmus looked like he was bunting for a hit.
Yeah. That
would not be really what the Astros are looking for right here.
Yeah, he did that on his own. Because if that came from the bench, he definitely would have made a better effort to put it on the ground.
So now it's 0-2. Conger is the on-deck hitter. Lowry's still in at third, and he's creeping in even more. And a high fastball, and Rasmus strikes out. Really one of the more unproductive outs you'll see.
Yeah. Just kind of rush him with a heater up and in right there.
16.
Yeah, really. Late in the ball game, it's really not the at-bat AJ wants right now.
Something to try to get that guy to second.
Yeah.
And not drag bunt. So here's Conger. Conger, a single, a walk, and a ground out. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Rangers still leading the Angels 2-1 in the 7th inning. Good ball game up there. Lots of pitching in the AL West tonight. Yeah, wow. Big swing and a miss, and now it's 0-2.
First pitch fastball away, and he locks him up with a fastball in, puts it in a really good spot for a left-handed hitter. That's a tough pitch to get to. He can go anywhere he wants now. Another heater up out of the zone, or throw that changeup down in the dirt.
See what he does. He goes high with a fastball. Robbie Grossman, switch hitter, is in the on-deck circle. You really got to get one of these next two guys, because if you don't, you're going to face Altuve with a runner in scoring position.
Correct.
Half swing, Conger. So he's going to see another pitch.
Looked like a split finger. Yeah, that ball's tumbling. Got Jerry right in the armpit. Ooh. On a cold night, that's not fun. That was a good split finger by Tyler right there.
Outfield very deep and straight away. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball.
What a good sequence of pitching right there. Tough at bat for Conger. Finishes him back off with that same heater in the upper part of the inside part of the plate. Tough to get to as a left-handed hitter. Just great pitching, good location.
So now it's Grossman. Grossman is 0 for 3. Changeup drops low. Chalking up.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to see him this inning.
Stayed right with the changeup. That one really fading away from the left-handed hitter.
Oh, put it in a really good spot. There's nothing you can do with that pitch. Really making some quality pitches this inning. The fastball in.
He got it in there, and Grossman got jammed. So 1-2. Carter led off the inning with a base hit, and then Clippard has come back to strike out the next 2.
See if he goes back to that split finger that he threw Conger. I know he's been working on that pitch this year.
Clippard's ready. Carter with his lead.
Yeah, looks like a split finger grip.
And that one bounced towards Sogard. Sogard will go the short way, and the side is retired. So bottom of the 9th coming up. A's will try to win it as we are scoreless. Coverage begins with Warriors pregame live at 4 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Fitz, JB, and Roz, they'll be there so you can watch the game with the team that knows the best. Now available also stream live on csnbay.com and NBC Live Extra. So good luck to the Warriors. They try to wrap up that first-round matchup after an unbelievable win last night. In fact, we boarded the plane in Anaheim, and we looked at the Warriors score, and they were down by 20 to start the 4th quarter, and we all were like, all right.
Amazing.
Give New Orleans that one. We landed, looked at our phone, and the Warriors won. Quite a win. Now they'll try to move on tomorrow, so good luck tomorrow. The W's.
The Pelicans?
New Orleans Pelicans. They're probably still trying to figure out how they lost last night. So Keuchel back to work, and he has been terrific. He's retired 16 in a row. And that one missed outside, 2-1. The last hit he allowed was Simeon's one-out single in the 3rd inning. 2-1 pitch. He's hit high in the air to center. Rasmus back into right center, still drifting back, and he's got enough room to make the catch. So on a night like tonight, we would say to that, no chance.
ball traveled a little bit further than I thought it was going to.
Jack Quall starts to throw. Chilly, breezy night. It's actually getting a little damp here at the ballpark. Otero, O'Flaherty warming up. Possibility of some rain tonight. So Canna steps in. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. It's actually kind of a mist now in the air.
It's
look up toward the lights. You can see the mist coming in. Very damp. Time to win it, I say.
Yeah. Walk them off.
Canna goes after that sinker, 89 miles an hour. What a great pitch.
He really throws nothing to right-handers on the inside part of the plate at all.
He goes nowhere near them. It's working. One-two pitch. Canna, does he hold up? Yes, he does.
Looks like he goes to that down and in slider to the righty, a tough pitch, and Mark was able to hold up.
Hits this one to shallow right field. Springer hustles in, and that's the second out. So Canna 0 for 3. And that'll bring up Zobrist. Zobrist, the designated hitter tonight.
Now batting, designated hitter. 18, Dan Zobrist.
So now a left-hander gets up for Houston. That's Tony Sipp. Zobrist, big chopper. Lowry waits, has it, flips across, side retired. 19 in a row retired by Dallas Keuchel. We got extra innings from the HOU.co on a Friday night. No score. 10th inning coming up.
Take on the Houston Astros. 20,000 fans will receive the creative t-shirt courtesy of Grant Thornton LLP, which features Sean Doolittle, Coco Crisp, and Sonny Gray.
Tomorrow, to get myself a couple of those.
Emoji.
You handled that quite well. It has not been always that easy. Time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Dan Otero comes in. He's pitcher number 4 for the A's tonight. And he's going to face the top of the order. Altuve rips one left center field. Gentry back, and he's got it.
The ball's carrying a little bit further than it was earlier in the night.
Which is hard to believe.
It is. Of course, Altuve aggressive, and Gentry got a good jump on that. And just missed it.
So Valbuena steps in. 1 pitch, 1 out for Otero. Drops in there first strike. Valbuena is 0 for 4. Ground out, line out, fly out, strikeout. And now he's behind in the count 0-2 as Otero took a little off that time. 1 extra inning win for Houston. The A's are 0-2. And on 3 pitches, Valbuena strikes out. So Valbuena is 0 for 5.
It's a high fastball. Looks like it just kind of jumped on him a little bit.
Number 4.
So A's pitchers now with 10 strikeouts on the night. See, now it's Qualls and Gregerson. So with 2 outs, Springer hits. Springer is 0 for 4. But they are not afraid to hack.
No, they're swinging. They are swinging. Doesn't look like they have much of an approach, but to be aggressive, which is probably why the averages are what they are. It's going to be tough to score a run tonight with these 2 bullpens. 2 of the better bullpens in the American League.
A breaking ball from Otero. 1-1 the count. Down and in. David Freese hit a 2-run homer for the Angels in the 7th inning. So the Angels have grabbed a 3-2 lead over the Rangers in the 8th. So Freese with a big hit. Freese had a pretty good series against the A's this week. And there's a shot headed for the right field corner. That's trouble. Springer's got good speed. Ross picks it up cleanly, and he gets it back in quickly, but it's a 2-out double for Springer.
Tell you what, all the hits have been to the right side of the field today. Looks like a fastball away by Danny. Springer does a nice job of keeping his eyes on it, hitting it the other way. Big hit. Keiko's loving it.
Yeah, he's going to be done for the night. He had 9 innings. And he wants that W. So they'll walk Lowry. And the next spot is Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez was the pinch runner for Gaddis. Remember, that was back in the 8th inning.
Yep. I think this is the right move right here, too.
Now, Gonzalez is a switch hitter.
Right. But I think in this lineup, when you look at it, I think Lowry definitely is the one hitter you don't want to let beat you, him and Altuve.
Yeah, Lowry's swinging the bat pretty well. Kurt Young will trot out, just make sure everybody's on the same page.
He'll go out there. He'll have the scouting report for Gonzalez just to make sure how they want to attack him right here.
Well, the Astros have stranded 9 in 9 innings. The A's have stranded 2 in 9 innings.
Right.
Starting to be a little bit more of a heavy mist now. You can almost
Now
feel
batting.
Yeah,
temperature drop.
It's dropping right now. Yeah.
Gonzalez.
So it's Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez, 5 hits in 17 at bats. He's got a home run this year. He's 4 for 16 batting right-handed, and he's just got the 1 at bat. For batting left-handed, he's got just the 1 at bat right-handed. So that's the numbers on Marwin Gonzalez. First pitch is a bit outside. Outfield is shallow and shaded toward left center. Canna is very shallow in left field. They want to have a shot to throw out Springer on a hit. Otero's ready. And that pitch catches the outside corner. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts is Gonzalez against Otero. Springer with a good lead at second, not really being held on. And that fastball is low. Chris Carter is the on-deck hitter. Well, the A's have had a pitch out of a lot of jams tonight. Just looking, Kazmir had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the first and the 6th. Outside of that, the Astros have had base runners every inning. Two-one pitch to the screen, and now it's 2-2. So the crowd tonight, 18,205. Most of them still hanging around. They've seen a terrific pitcher's duel. And with the game on the line here in the 10th inning, they're rising to their feet.
Springer should get a good jump here. If this ball's in the zone, he's going to be anticipating the strike, the swing. He'll be able to get off there pretty good. So it's going to be tough to throw him out of home plate.
Gonzalez went after a high fastball, slices it into the seats down the left field line.
So as a base runner, with 2 outs, 2 strikes, Danny goes with a little heater there, a little late by Gonzalez. But before even that ball passes through the strike zone, you're anticipating a strike and you're getting on the move there.
2-2. Lined left center field. Gentry on the move. He's not going to get it. 1 run scores. Here comes Lowry. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate late. And now Gonzalez is going to be caught. He'll hustle back to second, but he's going to be tagged out. But Gonzalez with a 2-out, 2-run double here in the top of the 10th inning. And it's the Astros who finally get the big hit. So work to do for the A's as we go to the bottom of the 10th. couple innings ago. It's the big hit, and here it is.
Oh, changeup away. He went to 3 changeups, and then at bat, that third one, he finally stayed on it, put a good swing on it, hits it to the opposite field gap. It looked like Gentry was going to close on it, and like I was referring to earlier, the colder it got, the wetter it got, it seemed like the ball traveled a little bit further. Springer off with a big jump, no way of getting him. Lauer was off to the races behind him.
So nobody happier than that guy. Keuchel, who pitches 9 innings, gives up just 2 hits, and he needed that hit to get the lead, and he got it from Marwin Gonzalez. So A's will have to come back against a former A, Luke Gregerson.
Sliders.
You think?
All sliders.
Gregerson's been good so far. He's got 3 saves.
Watch, he's going to throw. He's going to throw fastball.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up, Smog experts. Good numbers. Just 2 hits allowed in 7 innings for Gregerson. And 7 strikeouts. And he jumps ahead in the count. 0-2. Watching Gregerson all of last year, I don't know if you ever hit off him. You probably did, right?
Yeah, a couple times, yeah.
He's just, it's a little bit of a funky delivery, and he really kind of short arms it, and it almost seems like he kind of jumps at you.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
doesn't throw real hard, but there seems to be a little funkiness in his delivery.
There's a little deception in that slider that you know it's coming, and it just never gets to the plate.
There it is. That was kind of a waist slider.
He got a full windup. Kind of turns his side, big leg kick. Kind of jumps at you.
He's a little bit of a short armor too. Kind of has that small circle in the back. Better slider there, missed. Fold has come out. He's going to hit for Ross. And Lord. Setting up outside, 2-2. Butler spoils what looked like to be a pretty good pitch. Should get some should get some left-handed hitters after Butler. You saw Fold, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody hits for Laurie. Butler toward third, fair ball. And Valbuena throws in time, and that's out number 1, right on the bag. So Butler is out. Hey, join us tonight on A's Post Game for the A-Team. It's Vince Catrona, Ray Fosse, Eric Chavez, myself. We're going to get together and have a unscripted roundtable discussion about tonight's game. It's only on A's Post Game Live and 95.7 The Game after the game. There's Vince and Ray. Still miss Ken Korak, who's still a little bit banged up with his knee injury. We're hoping to get Ken back, maybe his homestand, but he's still a little bit banged up, so we wish him luck. Hope he gets back soon. But we're going to march on without him with the A-Team, which is easy to do.
Did he have surgery?
Yeah, he had a little damage to his artificial knee that was put in, and a little bit banged up. So hanging in there. So Fold here in the 10th inning. Laurie has come out into the on-deck circle. A's need a couple base runners.
Loop and a blast. That's what they need.
1-1 pitch. Change up 82 miles an hour. So the mist continues to thicken above the Coliseum. You can really see it kind of coming through in sheets now. tough to see a little bit for the outfielders. At least it looks that way up here.
For the hitters, too.
Yeah. Well, that shot.
I think this is
shows it to be fairly clear, but yeah, it's close to no longer being a mist. I'm sticking with mist as long as I can to try to keep the rain away. Two-two pitch. Hit foul. Into the second level. Don't see a whole lot of foul balls go up in that area. It's like the old section 209, Dallas Braden's old section. That's about where it was headed.
This guy's on ESPN.
He's all over the place, yeah. TV star.
Mustache.
Another 2-2.
There we go.
Off the glove, and it's going to roll into right field. So the A's have some life. They got a runner at first, and they'll get the tying run to the plate.
It's probably a play that should be made, should be handled. Gregerson went back to the slider. Through the miss, Sammy stays on it. Just to the right of Chris, off his glove. And he's got something going. Yeah, that's probably a play Chris will say he wanted to make.
So after 20 consecutive A's were retired, they get a one-out hit. Here's Laurie. And Laurie takes that slider and grabs the outside corner for a strike. I think guys who throw a lot of sliders, and there are relievers who are very good who throw a lot of sliders, but they usually will hang a couple in the course of an inning.
Yes.
And really, it's just a matter of what you do with it. I mean, Gregerson is a terrific slider, but if you throw 12 sliders in an inning, you're probably good.
Yeah, 2 or 3 of them are going to be hittable. Well, he's just done a good job this year of not letting that happen.
There you go. This one hit high into the air, foul territory. Sam Fuld is getting a very short lead at first. He's not really going to go anywhere. Vogt comes out. That's Fegley's spot. One and two. Slider got it. That was probably the best slider that Gregerson's thrown in this inning.
We kind of had a feeling that Lauer was going to good steady diet of sliders and finish him off with a good one.
So Vogt will hit. Last hope for the A's. Reddick has come out into the on-deck circle. Gregerson has always been much better against right-handed hitters as opposed to left-handed hitters. Obviously, with that nasty slider, lefties have a little better shot against him. Here's Vogt. Shift is on, and the first pitch outside. Lowry, the shortstop, has slid over to the right side of the bag. Outfield is shaded just slightly toward right center. Trying to foul the baseball through the rain. That's a good slider there in for a strike. I think he varies the speed a little bit as well on his slider. He'll snap it off a little harder if maybe he needs a strikeout.
Yeah, he can do that. What he's doing is he's going back door with it. He wants to make sure he doesn't miss down and in to Vogt's sweet spot.
That one tapped slowly. Altuve juggles his flip, not in time. There was a slight juggle, and I think that affected his flip toward first.
It looked like it kind of got stuck in his hand as he went to shovel it to first base here. Steven got out of the box pretty good. And as he shovels it, it almost is like he had pine tar in his hand. It got stuck and went up in the air a little bit. And that allowed Vogt to reach first base. This matchup right now is very similar to the one that they had yesterday in Anaheim.
So give Vogt a hit.
I think it was Joe Smith yesterday. Yep. Ready to get that ball to the wall.
Just got out in front a little bit. 2 on, 2 out. 2-0 Astros, and Reddick steps in. First pitch. Missed outside just by a touch. Is on for Reddick. And there's a strike. So, Eric, we should not be surprised then that in this inning alone, Gregerson has retired the 2 right-handed hitters.
Right.
The 2 left-handed hitters have gotten base hits. Now, Vogt was just really a chopper, but still, if there's any question, lefties have a much better chance. Sogard is the on-deck hitter. Cleaning off the spikes as light rain continues, and it's been doing this now for about a half an hour.
Pretty much guaranteed not to see anything on the inside part of the plate here. Josh has been very quick to the inside pitch the last few at-bats that I've seen of him. So he's going to have to go the other way here if he wants to get a hit.
1-1 pitch, hit toward left center field. That's up the alley. That's going to score 1. Here comes Vogt. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate is not in time, and this game is tied. And Reddick's going to try to score. The throw to the plate. He is out. So Reddick knocks in 2, and we are playing on, folks. The left-handed hitters did the damage against Gregerson in the bottom of the 10th. Wow. Keiko was 1 out away from a win.
Stayed away from him. Slider backdoor, got a little bit too much to the plate. Josh did a good job. Head down on the ball, driving it to the opposite field gap. Now we just got to watch Butler running around second. Kind of reminded me of Jeremy Giambi running the bases there a few years ago. Fortunately, the
better throw.
But the grass was a little wet, and it skipped on Conger a little bit, allowed him the ball to get through. You know, Sammy's scoring. Vogt's going as fast as he can.
And you know, Mango's got to wave him in.
Yes, you got to go for it right there.
The throw was wide. And Conger alertly turned around, got ready for the throw coming back to him.
It's a good piece of hit. Staying on that slider. Going hard all the way.
And he did the right thing. He just kept going.
Yeah. Go ahead, throw me out at third.
So the tag at the plate, but not before the 2-run score. So this one is not over, folks, as it's a 2-2 game. Reddick will stay in the game. And O'Flaherty is the new pitcher. Vogt stays in the game, so we'll get all those changes too. So the A's were down to their final out, and the Vogt infield hit that Altuve just could not quite get out of his hand, and that turns out to be a huge play.
You wonder if the dampness came into play there with Altuve. I'm wondering.
So you see Fulton center, Reddick and right. And Vogt is now the catcher. So here's Carter to face O'Flaherty. And the first pitch, a swing and a miss. Carter, Rasmus, and Conger against O'Flaherty.
Kuiper, was that hanging slider you were talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of laid up there.
Yeah.
Nishak starting to throw. Just missed. Carter with a good eye. Trying to catch up on my scorecard here.
It's kind of messy.
Got busy there in a hurry. Carter's 1 for 4. He had a leadoff single in the ninth. And that one is outside, a leadoff walk. That's the fifth walk.
He was being real careful with Chris right there.
Now batting, number 28, Colby Rasmus.
There's Colby Rasmus.
I think he knew he had the left-hander coming up after him and didn't want to make a mistake.
Rasmus going to bunt here, Eric?
You would think so, yes.
He didn't look too excited about bunting a couple innings ago, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. So it's been Kazmir, Scribner, Clippard, Otero, and now O'Flaherty. Last time he sacrificed bunt was September of 2012. He's not showing any idea bunting, but O'Flaherty's not throwing a strike, so why bunt? Make him throw you a strike.
Yeah.
Conger is the on-deck hitter. After Conger, it's Grossman. Those two guys are both switch hitters. The Astros have a left-handed hitter on the bench, Castro, and a right-handed hitter, Marisnik. And that one is in for a strike. So it looked like Rasmus was taking all the way. Again, and it's a strike. Rasmus is 0 for 3 with a walk, couple of strikeouts, and a ground out. Carter with his lead at first. That one's somehow hit foul, and I say that because the pitch was about 1.5 feet inside. Rasmus somehow. Watch this.
Yeah, he's kind of opening up there. You can see that front hip kind of open up, and yeah, he got the barrel to it.
Close pitch, 3-2. So Abad is up again. Abad and Bassett are the two A's relievers that have not been used. It's lonely down in the eighth. That one way inside, and Rasmus gets the walk. So O'Flaherty immediately in trouble as he walks the first two. These pitchers have now walked 6.
You would think the bunt's coming now for sure.
Well, especially with Altuve. So now the A's are going to have to
now batting, number 16,
execute it. Ray and I talk a lot about this, Chavi, and you would know what I'm talking about because you were a third baseman. You always think about in these situations the hitter executing the bunt, but sometimes you tend to overlook what about the defense executing the bunt play? Because a lot of times teams don't execute defensively, and then everything goes crazy when you don't execute a simple bunt play defensively. But you always think about, hey, did he get the bunt down? A lot of times, did they defense it properly? And we'll see if the A's can do that here.
And you can see they're in on the corners, and that's the first play you do in spring training. By the end of spring training, you're sick of it. So it looks like they know what the situation is. Just getting out.
So it's Conger. He shows bunt, and he lays down a good one. O'Flaherty's going to have to hurry. He throws in time. So Conger does his job. And now it's going to be Grossman with Altuve after. So Conger got it down on the first pitch, which is usually the best way to do it.
Number 19.
It's a good bunt.
Grossman.
Flaherty makes a good play. Conger did his job.
So here's Grossman. He is 0 for 4. Fly out to center, strikeout, fly out to right, and a ground out. And the first pitch is low.
So ideally here, you'd like to get Grossman out. You'd then put Altuve on first base.
Get a lefty on lefty with Valbuena.
Yes.
Infield is in. And that pitch is high, and now it's 2-0. So Flaherty not real sharp with the control. Missed again. That one not close. It's 3-0. Rain coming down sideways. Hit hard, left field base hit. 1 run scores. They're going to wave Rasmus. Here comes Canna's throw. It's way offline, and the ball trickles behind home plate. O'Flaherty has it. He fires to second, not in time. And Grossman gets the big hit. So it's going to be a single, couple of RBIs, and an error on Canna in left as the throw sailed.
Yeah, it looks like there's water all over the place on this play. The 3-0 hack. He lets him. AJ lets Grossman go here. Finds a hole in between short and third, and you can see the water kicking up, kind of slowed the ball down. Mark just pulled the throw a little bit.
So they will walk Altuve. So the 2 walks both come in to score. A's now with 17 errors on the year. That's the most in the American League. Funny, you can see our camera shot, just the kind of the wetness of the grass. It's got that little glisten to it. So Bob Melvin's coming out. Another lefty, Abad, is throwing. So Flaherty gives up the baseball. Abad coming in, and tough outing for Flaherty. We'll be back. Astros have grabbed the lead back here in the top of the 11th.
athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So Eric O'Flaherty, both the guys he walked to start the inning, both scored. The Astros are looking for more. They got 2 on, 1 out for Valbuena, and Abad is in. So pitcher number 6 tonight for the Yankees. So appearance number 7 for Fernando Abad, and the first pitch to Valbuena is hit hard but foul. You see Nishak, he's been loosening up, so he's ready to go. Valbuena is 0 for 5. Couple of strikeouts, so tough night for Astros third baseman. Astros have struck out 10 times tonight. They've also received 7 walks. Way inside. Valbuena jumps out of the way a little bit.
Body needs to stop the bleeding right here.
Oh boy, ain't that the truth. These will have Sogard, Simeon, and Canna in the bottom of the 11th. And now 1 and 2. And they will do that against Nishak as he continues to fire. Amazed at how guys are able to hold up on that pitch.
Starts it right at the hitter, ends up on the other side of the batter's box. Tough pitch to lay off.
You saw a few of those in your day, huh? Man. Way out in front there. Do you have a different approach against a left-hander as opposed to a right-hander?
Yeah, and by my splits, I should have had a better one.
That's not why I asked you.
No, they were tough on me my whole career. Just saw the ball better off of righties. That's what it comes down to.
Two. Fastball there at 91 miles an hour. Final, the Angels beat the Rangers 3-2, so that Freeze home run late was good enough. So a comeback win. Angels over the Rangers in the first of that 3-game series. As we told you, the Mariners shut out the Twins 2-0 behind Felix Hernandez.
Day game tomorrow?
Oh yeah. Sleep fast. Laurie hustling into foul territory, still on the move, and he makes the catch, slams into the mound. Looks like he's okay. Limping just a little
what
bit.
a good play. Wow. That mound sure does come up fast, even though it's far away from you. A fastball away, Valbuena pops it up. Lauer giving a good effort. Kind of hits his knee on the side of the mound there.
Well, you mastered that foul territory pretty well.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
tough.
that mound does come up fast. We've already got one guy hurt with a bad knee. We don't need another one.
So they will check on Laurie. He'd hit that hard. So when you turn around and take off, at what point do you start thinking about this mound is coming at some point?
You can feel it. I mean, he wasn't even looking at. He was looking at the ball the whole time. He never peeked towards the bullpen there.
Did you peek?
Sometimes,
yeah.
But you could just feel it. It's hard to explain. Like right now, he knows it's somewhere near there,
yeah.
Which is probably why he went to the dive there.
It's true.
And end up banging his knee against the side of the mound there.
Yeah, that's a good call. He went to kind of the semi dive.
He could feel it,
and he never looked down at the mound.
Yeah, so. He could feel it coming on.
So that's the second out. Here's Springer.
He really slows up on that changeup.
Yeah.
You can see it coming.
Springer had a big hit. It was a 2-out double in the 10th. So he got himself into scoring position, and then he scored. Same pitch, and now it's 2-0. Lowry is the on-deck hitter. Springer's also struck out a couple times, and that's a base hit left field. They're going to wave Grossman in. Here comes Canna's throw to the plate. It's cut off, and it's 5-2 Astros as Springer comes through.
That double he got in the 10th really relaxed him a little bit, because that was a pretty good swing right there.
Now batting, number 8, Jed Lowry.
Went back to that changeup, and like I said, you can kind of see it coming a little bit, and George stayed on it, put a good swing on it.
But you're right, though, that was a little more of a controlled swing.
Yeah,
not quite the crazy pulling off.
Yeah, because he got comfortable. He hit that double down the right field line and kind of relaxed him a little bit, and was able to stay on that changeup by a bottom.
So a 3-run 11th inning, and here's Lowry. Lowry takes a breaking ball low. So that run charged to O'Flaherty. Altuve is still O'Flaherty's responsibility. Lowry tonight 1 for 4 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. Pitch to hit there, and he fouled it back. Indeed, day baseball tomorrow. 12:30. A's pregame live is when our coverage gets started. It'll be Kendall Graveman and Scott Feldman, veteran and a rookie. Then on Sunday, Drew Pomeranz and Asher Wojciechowski. Foul ball by Lowry.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Wojciechowski. That's what we were told when we were in Houston, and I did not figure that out on my own. I was told how to pronounce it. So Graveman making his 4th start. Same for Feldman. So make sure you join us for that. Lowry battles it, picks it up, throws in time. Side retired. 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks for the Astros. Neshek coming in to try to save it. Astros lead 5-2. in the 10th inning to tie it. Now they need 3 to tie. So it'll be Pat Neshek. Neshek, his 8th appearance, no walks, 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. So it'll be Sogard, Simeon, and Canna. Although Ike Davis, he has a bat. Neshek's first pitch is a strike. So 5 runs, 11 hits for the Astros. 2 runs, 5 hits in there for the A's. And a base hit right center field. Here come the A's.
Little changeup by Neshek, and talked about earlier, Sogard so quiet, head on the ball, not trying to do too much. Little single to get the A's going here.
So Simeon hits for the 5th time. He's 1 for 4. He's got a base hit that was in the 3rd. Good sinker there by Neshek. Astros signed Neshek and Gregerson in the offseason to really try to bolster that bullpen, and it has worked. Well, tonight the A's got to Gregerson. And another good pitch. The ball 1-1.
Neshek was in Minnesota. He used to throw about 100.
But it's working. How does a windup like Neshek, almost like he quick pitches you, how does that affect a hitter?
A lot. There's a lot of moving parts with facing him. Timing, his delivery, deception. And he's got movement on his ball. He's got a sinker, got the slider. A lot of things to think about.
This is almost a one-of-a-kind motion.
Yeah, he almost drops down like he wants to throw like Bradford, and then he kind of comes back up and throws sidearm.
And there's really no windup either. So it is almost like he's quick pitching you.
Yeah, he's coming right at you.
I can see where that would be a strange at bat. Neshek cleaning his cleats. Sticky night. Mud is starting to come into play a little bit. Yeah. 2-2. Good hat by Simeon. Neshek does not want to be up there.
I think that's what Connor's telling him. Let's get that ball down.
A.J. Hinch, a close eye on that lineup sheet, and Ike Davis, who is standing in the on-deck circle to hit for Canna. Ike Davis is the last position player available for the A's. And that ball's hit deep to left field. Grossman on the move, headed toward the wall, near the wall, and that baby's gone, and it's 5-4.
Taking some good swings. I don't know if that was a hanging slider.
I bet it was.
He looked like he stayed on it just long enough and put it over the left field wall.
So now it's a one-run game, and here's Ike Davis. Davis again hitting for Canna. After Davis, it'll be Zobrist and then Butler. Davis, good swing. See where the pitch was.
He wanted it away. You can see Conger setting up on the outside part of the plate. Drifts on the inside part. Simeon short. With the barrel of the ball and just carried just enough.
But his location is not good right now.
No, he's all over the place.
That last pitch to Ike Davis was an extremely hittable pitch.
Yeah.
Davis just fouled it back. So Sip is up. And Ishak just does not look sharp. 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Fastball is high. Nice man in the A's bullpen right there, Chris Bassett. So 2-2 the count.
Yeah, he's all over the place. But his deception and his delivery is what allows him to get away with that most of the time.
And that's a base hit left field. That ball was up. And Ike Davis goes the other way. 3 straight hits here in the 11th. And now Zobrist will hit. Look where that pitch is. Right there.
Yeah. Not where a sinker ball pitcher wants to put it. Up and away. That's a nice job of Ike, though. Coming in cold, sitting down all day. Not known for going the opposite field, doing it against the shift.
Ike Davis says, I gotta warm up a little bit. Been sitting around all night. I may have to score the tying run.
Yeah, I don't think Ben's going to bunt here.
Brad Strum, the pitching coach, heads back.
I kind of like this matchup right here against Ben Neshek. Side armor, left-handed hitter. But we'll see what Bob decides to do here.
Zobrist tonight is 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs, and he has a walk. One of the ground ball outs was a double play. Short lead for Davis. And the pitch to the backstop. And now the tying run moves up 90 feet. That is a huge break for the A's.
Yeah, Conger set up outside, and again, Neshek misses. Conger usually really good back there with framing pitches, but he's having a tough time right now with Neshek.
Billy Butler is the on-deck hitter. Zobrist out in front, lines it right over top of the Astros bullpen. It's a new bat.
Looks like Tony Sip back up again. Probably getting him ready for Sam Fold if he comes around.
So the A's, believe it or not, have the tying run at second base with nobody out. Popped up. Neshek's going to get a big out here as Altuve's under it, and he squeezes it. And that's the first out.
It's a big out.
That's
big out.
I think you just feel like just getting that first out, and Neshek can relax a little bit.
Yeah, let's hope. Hopefully that doesn't settle him down.
But here's Butler. So Butler will try to tie this baby up. He's faced Neshek 7 times. got 3 hits. First pitch spins Butler out of the way.
Almost got him.
Little flare, right field. Springer on the move into foul territory. Good effort. Comes up short. And the count is 1-1. Quite a ball game tonight.
I went about 20 feet on that side.
He popped up, hustled back. So Neshek rubbing up a new baseball. Davis, the runner at second. Average speed. Strike on the inside corner, snapped in there. So now Butler's behind in the count.
Missing a spot again.
There's a theme there. Yeah. Outfield is shallow. Grossman in left, Rasmussen center, Springer in right. So now the count 2-2. Full waits. Sip, the left-hander, is ready out in the bullpen. Two pitches hit the shallow right field. Springer, as we said, playing shallow. He's got it. Flips it back in. Butler's retired, 2 outs. So Neshek, he fights back. He gets Zobrist and Butler, and it's going to be Tony Sipp to face Sam Fuld. So A.J. Hinch wants the left-hander. So the game is indeed on the line when we come back. Game, and it's only on A's post-game live and also on 95.7 the game. After the game, doesn't matter, extra innings, we could play 20 innings. We'll still do the 18. That's the way it is, Shabby. So Sipp against Fuld, tying run at second base, 2 outs, bottom of the 11th. Doesn't get much better than that. So Sipp, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Astros. And Sam Fuld hitting for the 2nd time. He had a 1-out single in the 10th. He got that rally inning started. First pitch to fold, slider, and it's in for a strike. Good start to the season for Tony Sipp. Got a win.
Fastball slider.
Slider again. This one is low. Ball's back up.
Maybe this is why they added the extra arm in the bullpen.
Well,
they knew something we didn't know.
Good idea. We got plenty of arms down there. Of course, it helps when your starter goes 9 innings as well.
Yeah, exactly.
In a pretty good spot now.
Who started this game?
That Keuchel guy. 1-1. High and deep, but well fouled down the right field line. So Sam Full muscled up and hit that ball a long ways, but no question it was headed foul.
Got the foot down, fastball in, and put a good swing on it just a little bit too early. More than likely going to get a slider or a split finger here.
Davis with his lead. He's not being held at second. And here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's a curve, and it's bounced foul. So that one hung over the plate a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't want it there. Conger setting up away. Ends up middle in right there.
So Simeon's home run cut the lead to 5-4. One-two pitch, and a good take by Full. Again, the outfield is extremely shallow.
Yeah.
Grossman is as shallow as you'll see a left fielder when it's not one of those do or die, got to play everybody in situations.
They're all very shallow.
So they want to be able to cut off the line drive. 2-2. He's blocked, and now full count with Laurie in the on-deck circle and Qualls warming up.
Look like a split finger. Hank goes down there. Pretty good block, and it doesn't let that one get through. Pretty good chance this is going to be a slider there. Ike really needs to get a good jump here. 3-2, get out there.
And he walked him. So he went with a fastball and he walked him. So AJ Hinch wants Qualls to face Laurie. So Sipp got ahead of Full but could not finish him off. So the tension continues. We'll be back. Walk off against the new pitcher for the Astros, Chad Qualls. That was in April of last year, and we bring that up because Chad Qualls, I mean, he struggled in a big way against the A's last year. Of course, this year is a new year, but last year, A's hit .571 off him. He blew 4 saves to the Athletics. He's trying to get one here. He needs 1 out as Laurie steps in. The tying run is at second. The winning run is at first. Now the outfield moves back. Laurie is 0 for 4. And the first pitch is a slider that hung, and Laurie had a huge cut.
He wants that one back.
Watch this rip.
Big swing. The only problem is we don't need a 3-run homer.
No, we need a flare.
Yeah. The outfield backed up there.
0-1. And that's a better slider by Qualls. That was a sharp breaker down and away.
Good pitch. Good location.
You're going to see that a couple more times.
Yep.
I think.
Yep. No need to throw him a strike.
So 0-2. Threw that one in the dirt. A good pitch for 0-2.
Yeah, you'll probably see him go right back to it.
Quite a ball game tonight. It was 0-0 after 9 innings. Now it's 5-4. Setting up outside again. 1-2 pitch. Driven to center. Rasmus back. He's under it. He's got it, and that's the ball game. So a wild game tonight. But when it comes to a close at 10:44 p.m., it's the Houston Astros who take game 1 of this series. So the Astros now 9-7. The A's fall to 8-10 with the loss. So final score tonight in 11 innings. The Houston Astros 5 and the Oakland A's 4. You've been watching A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Kelly and Bim starts right now.